The way to healing your inner child is becoming the adult. Healing the inner child is often misunderstood. Many imagine it as returning to the past, reliving old memories, or endlessly comforting a wounded younger self. While compassion and awareness are necessary, true healing does not happen by staying a child forever. It happens when you become the adult your inner child needed but never had. The paradox is simple yet profound. The way to heal the inner child is not by regressing into childhood, but by growing up emotionally and not hardening, not numbing, but maturing. The inner child represents innocence, sensitivity, curiosity, fear, creativity, and unmet needs. It carries joy, but also wounds. When life forces a child to grow up too fast or when their emotional needs are ignored, that child does not disappear. It waits, and later it shows up in adulthood as anxiety, emotional reactivity, people pleasing, abandonment wounds, or an overwhelming fear of being alone. Many adults unknowingly allow their inner child to lead their lives. Decisions are made from fear. Reactions from old wounds, relationships become attempts to find a parent, not a partner. The adult body exists, but the emotional driver is still a child asking, will you stay? Will you choose me? Am I safe now? This is not healing. This is survival repeating itself. A child, no matter how intelligent, intuitive, or wounded, is not meant to lead. A child is meant to be protected. True healing begins the moment you decide to become emotionally responsible for yourself. Becoming the adult does not mean being cold, rigid, or hyper independent. It means developing the capacity to regulate your emotions, set boundaries, make grounded decisions, and stay present with discomfort without abandoning yourself. It means saying, I will not wait for someone else to save me. I will not punish myself for having needs. I will not let my wounds decide my worth. The adult self is the one who can pause before reacting. The adult self can choose safety over familiarity. The adult self can say no without guilt and yes without fear. And most importantly, the adult self does not disappear when things get hard, does not abandon their inner child. Let be the child be a child with an adult backing them up. Healing does not mean silencing the inner child. It means finally letting the child be a child with an adult backing them up. This is where most people get it wrong. The inner child does not need to be fixed. The inner child needs containment. To let a child be a child means allowing joy without shame, allowing rest without guilt, allowing play, creativity, softness, and emotional expression. But, and this is crucial, the child is no longer alone. There is now an adult present who says, I see you, you're safe, your feelings make sense, you don't have to protect us anymore. I've got this, I've got you. The adult holds the structure, the child brings the life. Without an adult, the child becomes overwhelmed. Without the child, the adult becomes empty. Healing is the integration of both. Reparenting is not indulgence. It is leadership. Reparenting yourself is not about giving yourself everything you want. It is about giving yourself what you need, even when it's uncomfortable. A healthy adult self knows the difference. Sometimes the child wants to avoid pain. The adult chooses growth. Sometimes the child wants validation. The adult provides validation and self-respect. Sometimes the child wants to cling. The adult chooses stability and chooses itself. This is not cruelty toward the inner child. This is love with wisdom. A good parent does not abandon a crying child, but neither does a good parent let the child run into danger just to avoid tears. Maturity is safety. For many, healing feels scary because it means letting go of familiar chaos. Wounds can feel like identity. pain can feel like home, but the inner child does not actually want chaos. It wants safety. And safety comes from consistency, from boundaries, from follow through, from knowing someone will show up every time and that is safe. When you become the adult, you become that someone. The end goal is wholeness, not infantilization. Healing your inner child is not about staying broken, fragile, or dependent. It is about becoming whole. A whole person can feel deeply without drowning, love without losing themselves, remember the past without living in it. The inner child does not disappear. They relax. They stop screaming, they stop grasping, they stop running the show. Because finally, there is an adult in the room. The way to healing your inner child is not by becoming smaller, softer, or stuck in the past. It is by becoming solid, by becoming the adult who can stand steady while the child inside laughs, cries, plays, and rests, knowing they are no longer alone. Healing is not about going back, it is about growing up with love. I hope today's video gave you something real to reflect on and see yourself a little clearer today. Once again, I'm Joanna Nares, and thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.